Good afternoon. It's David, Kris, and Matt from Drive, and we have a special panel of guests with us today. So we'll start with introductions. So starting off first, we have Kris and Dan from Olympic Truck with us. Welcome, Kris and Dan.
Thank you.
And then we have Tyler with Diesel Laptops with us.
Live from our studio. Thank you for the invite.
And then we have Mike with Repair Aces, which is a diesel truck repair association. So welcome, Mike.
Great. Glad to be here. Welcome, everybody.
So what we're going to get into talking about today is this is kind of a unique show. This has really evolved around the truck shops, the trucking industry, and what's going on. And if we look at what's just going on out there in the world right now, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of moving pieces to it. You know, we have freight stuck off the beaches of all of our ports right now when it's taking anywhere from 30 to 60 days to unload a container ship at the ports right now. And that freight's got to be picked up by trucks. Well, then we have the other unique things that's going on with trucks right now is because of the pandemic, all the manufacturers are back ordered on even ordering new trucks. Many fleets were out to replace their fleets and they can't get trucks. Going to buy a truck, it's even hard to find. But even the newest addition to that is getting parts to fix the trucks that are on the roads right now. It's a hit and miss on whether or not you can even get parts to fix it. They have trucks sitting in dealership parking lots, repair shop parking lots, everywhere. Everybody's scrambling to find parts and there's nothing real consistent about it. So kind of going around the room and everything, I'll start with Mike and Tyler. What are you guys seeing in the industry right now that are affecting the repair shops the most?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, the good news is this is the first time this ever happened. 2020 was the first year when it ended. There were less commercial trucks on the road than when it started. And that's because trucks wreck, trucks get old, all those things happen. Nobody was making trucks, factories were shut down, then they couldn't build them. So we had a decrease in the number of trucks on the road. As you just said, you can't build new trucks, which means all the trucks that are out there are getting older and older and putting more miles on them than they typically have. So the good news is if you're a repair shop, you're going to have plenty of work to do for quite a while. So there's plenty of trucks that need to get fixed. And there's a shortage. Rates have never been higher for trucks than they are right now. And as you said on the beaches, the port of LA alone has over 550,000 truckloads that need to get out of there once they can actually unload the ships. So it's going to be a long time before this mess is sorted out. And it's causing all kinds of problems with various parts not being able to found in the marketplace trying to fix trucks.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Tyler. You know, this is Mike. This has been a very disruptive year and a half. And I think the trucking industry, and at the heart of the trucking industry, as you know, are the drivers and the repair shops. And we're in a very good position with some good, I'll call them good spirits and good karma, because we're at the right time with some good alternatives and solutions for the repair shops. Dave, you mentioned earlier in our conversation about, you know, you come in with your truck and you've got, you know, you got a job that you got to get done and get that truck on the road, trucking down the road, and you don't have the cash, you don't have the credit card limit. You got to get it fixed. The shop wants to fix it. So, you know, one of the solutions is repair financing, and we offer that through association. You know, there's a bunch of other things in there as well, but that one really kind of resonated because the truck's got to get fixed. The truckers got to get on the road. We got to keep this economy going. So we're in a good position with ACES to offer something very innovative and unique in that respect, along with some other things, which I'll throw in as we go through.
Okay, well, thank you. And now, Kris and Dan, let's talk about the real life of this out on right at the front of it. You're trying to manage your shop. You're trying to get trucks back on the road. You're running your team and everything. What have you seen now and how things are going, and what are some of the obstacles you're running across?
We are very busy. We've got about 45 trucks and trailers out in our yard right now. Like, we have no room for anything. Like, we're gonna have to move our employee parking because there's just and it's not even like, I mean, we just don't have the capacity at our shop, which that's something we're dealing with. We don't have the capacity to take on any more business at this point. So we're going to be expanding shortly, but then we have to find employees to hire that are experienced. That means we have to steal them from another shop. They don't just exist out there. So, you know, we have to have good benefits. It's like a really holistic issue that we're running into. So we're trying to plan really carefully because we want to make sure that when this is over, like the work will still be there to support our expansion, that type of thing. So it's an important thing.
Yeah, because I know, like, yeah, right now, kind of like you guys were saying too, with all of it, I mean, everybody's having to fix their trucks, so that's why we're so big. We've had many customers just tell us that it's like, I would like to replace this truck. I'm going to put more money into it than the truck's worth, but I can't get another truck. So we have to fix it. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now and where everybody's kind of living their life.
So David, to add to that, they touched on another point, and that's the diesel technicians. So if people don't know this stat, it's actually mind blowing. Right now on Indeed.com, there are over 30,000 open job positions for diesel techs. And that's just Indeed.
Got like
So
3 of them.
yeah, so it's even worse. It's even worse than that because people put an ad out for more than one hire, and that's just Indeed, right? So there's other platforms people advertise on. So the real number of diesel techs that are needed in the US right now is probably more like 90,000 to 100,000. And the bad news is community colleges, tech colleges, they're going to produce 6,000 diesel techs this year. So now we have a 95,000 gap between demand and supply on diesel techs. And that number's been tracked for a couple of years, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So we have a lot of problems going on in our industry that need to get fixed.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, can I throw in on top of that? Because one of the things we're hearing, you know, talking to the shop owners and the operators is that they're saying, you know, hey, look, the headwinds are there. We all have the same handicap, if you will. Help me work smarter. Let me get the work done with less resources. Show me how to do that. And so think about how you save time, how you make money or save money. And it's the people, it's the training, it's the intelligent use of data and diagnostics. I mean, you know, to feed towards Tyler, I mean, you know, if you have information, you're going to be able to do your job much smarter because you're going to know what the problem is sooner because the troubleshooting is going to be much more effective. So working smarter, not harder, working smarter is going to be one of the things in our mission we want to help our association members with. And so, you know, save me money, save me time. Of course, we all want to do that, even more so now. So let's get smarter. And I'll let Tyler talk about some of the things they're doing with diagnostics. And in fact, we have a diesel decoder that we give our members right out of the chute because we think it's a good token of that direction of that mission.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be solved two ways. Number one, we need to get more diesel techs. And by the way, it's not going to be community colleges and tech colleges that do that. They've been unsuccessful for 2 decades. So it's not going to be that. And you're absolutely right. It's going to be technology that comes to save it. So we look at the process from that side and we say, look, when you're diagnosing a truck, you should be able to go from, you shouldn't have to go use a tool to diagnose, another way to look up your parts, and another one to find out parts and availability. Like that process alone is a headache, making phone calls and sourcing things. Let's try to simplify that. So let's use technology. And that's one of the big things we're working on is we want to get people from fault code to part number with the price and availability in less than 3 minutes. So it's doing things like that will save people time so that their technicians can be more productive. The shops can make more money. Technicians can make more money. Trucks get back on the road quicker. It's just a win-win-win for everybody all around.
Correct. And, you know, there's some other pieces to it. When we're talking about the technician shortages, first, that's what we do at Drive too. We have the shop business analysis, we have coaching, we have training to help maximize efficiency in the shop. But of course, we do know there is a struggle of finding technicians out there. And I just went to a conference a couple of weeks ago with ASE, it was the last month, but it was at ASE. And there's some shocking numbers out there. You know, over 60% of the workforce, and this is automotive, truck, collision, all put together, but 60% of the workforce is over 50 years old right now. And do you know, when you look at that number and see how many are coming up on retirement and stuff like that, the other scary number is it's less than 5% of under 22 years old is entering the workforce. And, you know, we've been talking about this now. You talk about having to steal a technician, but we got to start working together, and it's before college. It's at grade school level. I'm saying you're starting to talk at the mid-school level of being at job fairs and getting in front of people, showing them there's a career. And one of the greatest things about this pandemic is, look, every one of your truck shops were essential businesses during this pandemic. And there is a movement going, what is essential and what kind of jobs do I want in case something like this happens again. And this is something we should be advertising more, getting out in front of people, and then showing them what the careers are in the diesel fields. It's not just a technician. There's service advisors, there's managers, there's parts people, there's all kinds of fields in there. And so we got to get out and interest people in our industry a lot earlier and a lot sooner.
Yeah, we literally just signed a lease on our second outside facility. So we have one in Dallas. We just signed a lease on a facility in Chicago. And we're going to be doing entry-level diesel technician training courses and bringing new diesel technicians to the market to try to help the problem. But it's something that everyone needs to get involved with. It's going to get worse before it gets better. So if you're listening to this and you're having a problem finding techs now, hold on to the ones you got. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
And
Yeah, go ahead, Kris.
oh, sorry. It's just one of those things, like, it's not something you can wait and like just post an ad on Indeed. Like you're saying, like under 22, we've got we've got 2 kids under 22, and then we've got like 24 and a 25. And we just make sure that they're hustlers. Like basically, they're not going to be a diagnostic tech, but they love to learn. 2 of them are going to community college right now, so they work nights for us, but they're good kids and they do a great job. When we bought our shop a few years back, our average tech age was like 57. And so, but we brought in technology. Like we have a lot of stuff through diesel laptops. We do training through diesel laptops up in Seattle. We use the computers, we have tablets, and we use full bay, so we're paperless. And that is attractive to people. It's not attractive to 57-year-olds, but a 20-year-old kid that you're trying to get to come work for you, he doesn't want to carry around a clipboard. He wants a tablet, and they can look up all their information from a tablet, and everything can be done from there. And it's really easier to track. I mean, it's easier for us. It's way cheaper because we don't lose stuff anymore. So like really, it's like, it's a bigger issue than just like, I like to focus on solutions. So I'm trying to like think of other ways, like other things we can do to attract younger people. And I think that using technology is one of them.
Hey, Kris, can I steal your suggestion around, this is a holistic challenge. This is not just one thing or another. And with that in mind, I like to throw in the idea that, people wonder how airplanes and rocket ships fly, and everybody thinks it's about one part that they understand or see. And a lot of people say, hey, this is not rocket science, right? You heard that phrase? And this is my reveal. Tyler, you never knew this either. In my prior life, I was a rocket scientist, but you always are. I'm an aerospace engineer by training. And, being out in Seattle out there, Boeing is all, that was what I lived my life for, was airplanes and jet engines and flying and all things aircraft. This is not rocket science, but it is an important thing to look at the culture and the holistic solution. So if we invest in people, make the environment, we invest in the training, you invest in the leadership development of people. It is about the job, and it is about the money, but it's more than that. It's culturally a change where you make it something acceptable because people care about each other. They're investing in the training. They're giving them leadership coaching. You talk about drive. You're giving people solutions so they succeed. You're setting them up to win. It's a holistic thing. It isn't rocket science. It's actually harder because you're trying to change people and culture and behaviors.
For sure. Yeah.
And everything Olympics doing is right. I mean, the fact is, unhappy employees don't look for other jobs. So it sounds like you guys are doing everything you need, and you're bringing them in. They're part of the family. They're part of the organization, and you're putting effort.
Yeah. I know that's one of our biggest things too. Like you said, bring them in like they're one of the family, and that's truly how we look at them. Like our employees are part of our extended family, and we treat them that way because, I mean, I know when I work other places, that's not what I want to feel like, is just a number.
I sat in the emergency room for a few hours earlier this week with one of my guys.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the difference though, is you guys care, and you're doing what we're telling everyone they should do. Go find young people that have good attitude, they're sponges, they show up on time, they communicate well, that they want it. Like, find the people that want to be better, bring them in, treat them well. They'll stick with you if you do those things. Absolutely. That's what you have to do now. You're not going to find the people that walk in and say, I got 10 years experience and 3 certifications, and I'm looking for a job. It doesn't
Right.
happen anymore.
Right,
Or
yeah.
they want the moon if they are that person. Like,
yeah.
I would like $40 an hour and I don't want to work any of these days, and
Yeah.
I need you to pay for my whole family's medical insurance. I'm like, I would love to be able to offer that, but I cannot. Like,
Well, and it's when we're talking about the younger generation in here, for so many years, everybody's been focused on the millennial generation. And there's a lot of concepts that everybody's going to look at. Look, the millennial generation come to working age, when they actually started coming into the workforce during the recession crash of 2007.
that's us. Like, it's,
Right.
Yeah, right.
so, it's when people say, oh, the millennials, I'm like, you're talking about somebody else. Like, we're old now. Like, we've got teenagers. Like, we're
Well,
old.
No, that's exactly the point too. My son's a millennial and he's almost 40. So you just gotta get your wits around that, people, because when we're talking younger people, we're talking Generation Z. We're talking the children of the millennials, and that's an entirely different set of people to be looking at. And as we've talked about already in this conversation, you want to get them while they're still in school. Before they've graduated and gone off to college or whatever else they might do. I don't think people understand how good a living you can make in this industry if you have the right attitude, you're willing to work hard. It's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not just that, but we're talking, you have the millennial generation that everybody's been focused on, but you have Gen Z that, like Kris said, their children this out. But here's the scary one for you. The alpha generation, now we're talking 2 generations behind the millennial generation, enters the workforce in less than 4 years. And if we want to change something about our industry right now, that's the generation that we've got to be connecting with.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the way our society is rigged at the moment, there's a great deal of pressure put on kids to go to college, to do STEM degree programs, etc. And the trades are getting the short end of the stick. And it creates a problem, not just in auto repair, but construction, all of those as well.
Mhm.
And there are lots of great jobs, great careers that kids could go into if they even knew about them.
Yeah, Kris, it's not just the trades, it's other things too. So we hire software developers, and we'll take someone that has a 4-year degree in computer science at a university and someone that went through a 6-month boot camp. And guess what? They both
The
get
boot
paid the
camp
same
guy's
when they come
better.
work for us, right? Like one just spent 120 grand going to college, one spent
That's
10.
true.
And
That's
the same
true.
spot. It's a lot. There's a lot of professions like that, and I think, everyone. I'm guilty of it too. I tell my kids, "You're going to go to college. You're going to go to college." And the fact is, you really don't need to go to college for a lot of things, and maybe getting an art history degree isn't the best use of 100 grand, right?
That's
So-
the
Right.
one-
Exactly.
Use that one as an example with our kids too. Like, okay, it has to be, if you're going to go to college and we're going to spend the money, then it needs to be in something that you're employable, because otherwise you're going to end up working at the shop. And and one of the things that, like, I have a lot of goals and plans. I'm a planner. I want to do in our area is put together kind of like a career fair type thing for the younger kids. Like I said, we have middle schoolers now. And so I try to be like in their, not in their business, but like, so our shop sponsored volleyball team jerseys, and the principal let me put our logo on the back. And like just different things, so like we're around and people know who we are. And when the time comes, I've been talking to the principal, just because of COVID, I've gotten delayed, and one of my friends owns a construction company. We wanted to put together just like, not even necessarily a career fair, because they're 14 and 13 years old, but something where we can go in the classroom and just like talk to them. And Dan is really good at explaining things and like bringing that technology and showing them what it means to be a diesel technician. It's not an old guy in dirty coveralls with a wrench. It's a young kid who has their tablet and also has other diagnostic tools. We can bring our diesel laptops in there. We have a few. So just showing them what it means.
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
I think that that's going to be the key, because like you guys had said, and letting them know that there are jobs available where it's not just, it's not what you picture, basically.
Right.
Yeah, hey, can I build on that? Because, you know, one of the things that people think of when they think, you know, the oily hands, the dirty hands under the hood, sort of the, you know, the rough and, I don't want to use the word dirty because I'm not sure I like that, but the idea of that somebody is using their hand. But, you know, in the future, the trend that we're seeing is that it's really going to be in the computer. I mean, an engine now is more computers now than ever, and diagnostic being a part of it. But obviously, having that mindset that this is IT meeting the mechanic, they're kind of merging together in the Venn diagram. And you're going to see there's a future in someone who has the aptitude that might have gone into programming or gone on to computer application somewhere, can apply that in the trucking industry. Because, you know, I know we won't bring it up here now, but this whole idea of preventative maintenance rather than just, you know, planned maintenance is all about the data and all about what the computer is saying and what the reports and all that kind of stuff. And it's an exciting future. It's not just, you know, oil on hands and dirty fingernails. It's a lot of stuff that I think could be an interesting attraction to the next generation. It's digital, it's solutions.
For the record, it is a lot of dirt and oil too. Like our guys, I don't want to like take that part away from it, because every day at 3:30 when our day shift is over, they work really hard, but that's a piece of it too. I don't want anybody to show up at our shop and be like, oh, you know, it's still a diesel shop.
But on that note, yeah, I also myself, I gravitated towards the electrical side of things. I enjoy working with the CAN buses and everything of the new trucks. And that was when I was on the floor, like that's what I specialized in. Yeah, I did come home cleaner than a lot of the other guys, but I still got dirty.
So question for you guys. We're starting to see customers that are buying tools and all they're doing mobile, but all they're doing is diagnostics. So they just go shop to shop to shop, just doing the diagnostics that they can't figure out, then be like, well, here's your problem, pay me my bill. You guys can fix it now. Are you guys seeing that all out in your neck of the woods, or have those not hit yet?
I haven't seen that. Luckily, Dan is like one of the best. So he's like Cummins and Freightliner certified, like with electrical, and he's pretty much like if I had a problem, I would call him and he works here. So that is very helpful. We're very lucky, very lucky.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's an interesting concept, but yeah, I haven't heard of that one yet. But I wouldn't be surprised, to see that, especially with all the after treatments, somebody who's really gets to know the after treatment systems. And a lot of people, it just baffles them. So they're like, I don't know, just start throwing stuff at it and hope for the best. But
and a lot of times, like we'll hear of customers, they've had their truck at other shops for like 3 months and their truck is torn down and then it gets towed to our shop. And we're like, okay, great. We didn't take this apart. So like, it's tricky because.
Well, it is, obviously, just to add to that, Tyler, when on that question you're asking, that's actually been around for quite some years now, and it really started in the collision industry when they brought out the ADAS systems. There was companies that bought the equipment and was running around doing all the calibrations for ADAS. And I think now in the collision, it's even getting better where people are putting brick and mortar buildings up just for calibrating ADAS systems.
Yeah, you need a lot of space for those, and that's a whole other show, but
yeah, it's another show. But I do see where you're coming from, Tyler, because there is, and that's even gains for our shops out there right now. If you have that expert that knows how to use the equipment and diagnose and stuff, it's a service that you can offer to other people in your area if they don't have that diagnostics capability.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously they're doing a great job if their shop's that full and their yard's full, right? So obviously they got the expertise and people recognize that and are willing to pay for it and wait for it. But I keep telling everybody I talk to, like, look, if you want your business to make it the next 10 years, you need to get good at 2 things: electrical and after treatment.
Right.
Because let's face it, between robots driving trucks, electrification of trucks, advanced, emission requirements, get good at those two things, you'll never have to worry about finding a customer again because you're gonna have more work you can handle.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I know we're
100%
kind of
correct.
coming up on time, but I do want to kind of go around the room because I want to get Tyler and Mike to explain what their companies do. But before I do this, now Kris and Dan, you guys are featured as the Drive Shop Spotlight here just recently. And there's also another thing that our Carolyn behind the scenes told me to ask you about, and I think this is really commendable on you guys. That you guys are a part of the Big Brother, Big Sister programs in your area, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just amazing to hear, and I want to hear a little bit about that because it's something good that you guys do, and I think it's worth being highlighted today.
So it was really cool. We got approached by Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they partner with WorkSource, and they host monthly events for kids between the ages of 16 and 24 that are not interested in going to college for a 4-year degree. So it's just other than that. And so they approached us to host an event where we talk about the industry, talk about, how you can get into the industry, what it looks like. So we hosted it at our shop. We had information from, Northwest Diesel Specialist.
Yeah.
They host Tyler's classes there. They're the people that host the Lakewood, Seattle classes. They offer like the 5 and 10 week programs, and then we had Centralia College who offers a 2-year and 4-year diesel degree. So they were there. We had their giant brake board. We had to put it in like one of our big trailers and like have it brought to the shop. And so it outlines air brakes. And so basically we talked about, all of those things, like there's short-term and long-term. And then Dan, there's some good pictures of him. Like we have our column lifts that have Bluetooth. Dan loves those. They're like his baby. So, we showed the kids those. We jacked up our big tractor shop truck, and he, went through all the components. He hooked up a truck to our diesel laptop and went through like diagnosing issues and how to pull codes and whatever.
Yeah, basically just kind of let them see some of the components, showed them like what the brakes look like, how like communication with laptops and how like you use laptops in the industry, how like just how big the components are. Like a lot of them, like they were familiar with cars, like, oh, we know what a transmission is. Well, you lift the truck up 5 feet in the air and you walk under it and you see an actual transmission in an 18-wheeler. It's like, oh, that's a kind of an eye-opener for some of those kids. It was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it, and they seem to really enjoy it also.
That's great. That's
Great
awesome, guys.
And like I said, if anybody wants to know more about what they did, it is in that shop spotlight. So it's posted on Drive blogs and everything else. So definitely learn more about it. So Tyler, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about diesel laptops and how you can help them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it brief. I know we're running out of time here. At the end of the day, we're here to help solve your shop efficiency problems. So we want to make you more efficient in that repair process. And we do that through diagnostic tools, everything from $10 cables to $10,000 professional tools. We pretty much sell everyone's products, including our own. We've talked about training that we do here at Diesel Laptops. We make repair information. By the way, if you want free repair information, go to repair.diesellaptops.com. It's called Diesel Repair. There's a mobile app for it as well. Love for you guys to check it out. And again, thank you for having us on here and everything.
Okay, well, thank you, Tyler. And then Mike, I'll let you talk a little bit about Repair Aces because this is new to our Drive family and everything. We just really got connected up, but I know you guys are an association for repair shops and operators out there, and it's helped to bring an association together to work together and move forward in Dan's shops.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. ACES stands for Association for Commercial Equipment Solutions, and it truly is that. And, the founders of ACES saw a real gap out there. There was really no dedicated association just for repair facilities. There's associations for drivers, there's used truck association, there's state associations. So we thought that this was a gap, and you know what? We're finding out that we're filling a need. And what we've done is we've bundled together what we think is a set of solutions and things that will help a repair shop thrive. And it's an association designed to assure your business thrives. So it's a business goal, but we're going to do it through a network of associations that share their peers. We throw in I have actually just did a whole rework of what the value of this is for joining. If you join right now, $2,000 in the first year of available benefits without buying or purchasing anything else, right off the top. You know, again, that's with training and some other freebies and what have you. And then over $24,000 of available value and benefits over a year. So we wanted to make it so attractive that you had to lean in and think about it. We want people to go from thinking to joining because we think it's going to be a game changer for the industry. And I'm excited to be the executive director and, you know, working with folks like Tyler and, you know, the folks at Truck Suite and now Drive You, and we've got others that are affiliates that have signed on. We're going to build an awesome team, and we're taking all interest, and anybody who wants to know anything, call the number. repairaces.org is our website, and repairaces.org. And, you know, I'll be glad to take anybody's question, and we're excited. So thanks for having us on to share that and to bring this out to our audience.
Okay, well, so we are coming up on our time. So Kris and Dan, congratulations on all your success and all the busy shop that you have there. Tyler, thank you for being like I said, an industry partner and helping shops become more efficient. And same with Mike. Thank you for getting an organization together to help support the truck shops and let them work together. And then, so coming up next week, Kris, Matt, myself will return, and we're going to be talking about, do you run your dream shop or is it your worst nightmare? And we're going to talk about, so is it everything you wanted to be? Is it what you envisioned when you opened your shop? Or did you buy yourself a job you can't quit? So that's what next week's talk's going to be all about. And we're going to have a fun time with that. And everybody have a great weekend. And thank you for all of our panel here today. Appreciate every one of you taking time to join us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.